The Morimoto Smoked XB sequential turn signals are going to appeal to the 2015 through 17 owners out there looking for a dark smoke light for one, but also a product that's going to incorporate some very cool sequential turn signal functions. Now, the Morimoto XB signals will be a plug-and-play direct swap that can be had for right around $200, and because there's no crazy wiring or modification needed, expect a relatively simple 1 out of 3 wrenches on the old difficulty meter in about 30 minutes or so to complete from start to finish. So hang out to the end and we'll show you how it's done. So I feel this product is going to appeal to S550 owners out there for 2 big reasons. First and foremost, that dark smoked appearance, which I don't have to tell you guys, has been a very popular look in the Mustang scene for as long as I can remember. Now, that dark smoked appearance in this case is coming from the smoked polycarbonate lens that does flow nicely with any other smoke lights you may have already installed on your ride. But then there is the sequential feature, right? Which, let's face it guys, is gonna be the main reason you might wanna consider these lights. Why? Well, because if you just simply wanted to achieve a dark smoke look and nothing else, there will be far more affordable ways to go about doing so. Now, the XBs here from Morimoto do separate themselves thanks to that built-in sequential LED function that do sequence from the center out whenever your signals or your hazards are switched on. And when those signals aren't in action and your parking lights are turned on, those LEDs will illuminate brightly in amber, really cutting through the dark smoked appearance or lens on these particular turn signals. Now, the modern lighting is all going to be housed in that durable ABS plastic housing and sealed well enough to achieve, get this, a waterproof rating of an IP67, which is something, guys, that you typically see in the land of off-road lights or light bars, things like that. So you know these things are built well and you know they won't be fogging up on you anytime soon. But if for whatever reason you should encounter any issues with these lights, then Morimoto will have your back with a 5-year limited warranty. But now let's get into the installation of these DOT approved lights from Morimoto, and as promised guys, no cutting, no modification needed, everything is completely plug and play. And to show you how it's gonna go down, here is that detailed walkthrough along with a quick tool breakdown.
Tools required for this installation: lug nut socket, impact, 1/4-inch drive, 7mm socket, various extensions, push pin removal tool.
All right, to get started, we need to access inside here to our inner fender. So we have to get the vehicle in the air and these wheels off. I'm using a lift. You can use a jack and a good set of jack stands to accomplish this. To get access to our turn signals inside of our inner fender, we have to remove these 6 push pins holding the bottom of the splash guard on. I'm using a push pin removal tool. You can use a flathead if you don't have one. So there's one here, one on the bottom here, all right, now with all those push pins removed, you'll be able to pop this out and off to the side. And this way we can gain access to, you can usually get it past this lip right here. And this is what we're after right here, our turn signal and fog light housing. All right, now that we have access to our fog light and turn signal bucket, we are going to unhook all of our connections here and just pull down on the tab and pull straight back. One of them is for your turn signal, one of them is for your fog light, one of them is for your marker lights. The next step is to take a 7mm socket and remove 6 machine screws, 2 on the side here, 2 on the top, and then 2 on the bottom. All right, so now you have to release 3 tabs. There's 2 on this side and then 1 back here on the other corner. My trick is to take your thumb and just try to press that down and past that little lip, and that will release that bucket. So I have those two done. I'm gonna try to keep pressure on that to maintain it. And then I'm gonna press down this back one and it'll pop right out. All right, now we're gonna repeat the steps on the other side, get our other housing and put them on the table and switch out these lights. All right, now we're gonna replace our factory turn signals with these smoked Morimoto ones. I'm gonna flip these upside down. And then with your same 7mm wrench, take off these 3 machine screws. And this will drop out of the front. All right, set this off to the side. Bring in your new one. You are gonna have to fish your wire adapters through. Make sure your screw holes are lined up. We're gonna be reusing our factory screws. Just gonna start all 3. You don't want to over tighten these. This is a plastic housing. All right, that looks good there. We're going to do that on the other one now. All right, so now we're gonna drop our housing back into place. Again, we're gonna be utilizing these alignment tabs and these push tabs because that's exactly where it needs to go. So looking at the front, slide just like that. And you're gonna hear it click when it goes in, just like that, and that. Now we can get our 7mm bolts back in. This is just a reverse order of how you take it out. We're gonna put our screws back in, starting with the side here. All right, now we're gonna put the other one in and wire it up. All right, now we're gonna wire everything back up. This is your fog light. We're gonna do that one first just to get that out of the way. Next, we're gonna do our marker light right here. And then we have an adapt to adapt our new turn signal to factory wiring harness. So this block right here, tan one will go to the black. And then the gray will go to the brown right here. Our last step is to bring in our sequence box and plug that into this little plug here. Now I highly suggest you get some double-sided tape and maybe stick this to the inner fender here or wherever you get a free spot. Same thing with the little box here for your capacitors and resistors. All right guys, now once you have everything wired up, before you put everything back together and find out that they may not work, let's test them out. All right, cool. Looks like it's working just fine. We can put everything back together now. All right, guys, now we're gonna reinstall all of our push pins along our inner fender, followed by our wheel. We'll start here in the corner. On the side here. Make sure this is behind it, just like that. And don't forget, you do have another one right under there that connects the inner fender to the little splitter in the front there. And you have one on the corner here. And then your last one right up in here. And repeat that on the other side and get our wheel on. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up my install of the Morimoto XB smoked LED turn signals. And for more products and installs like this, keep it here at AmericanMuscle.com.